Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, the show where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news so that you stay up to date and informed in the world of crypto. It is a Monday, so I'm back with BlockPro. BlockPro, how was your weekend?
It was pretty chilled. Not a lot of volume, so didn't do too much, to be honest.
Nice. Did you stay up late on the Sunday evening like we spoke about last week?
Yeah, it was pretty much like I knew what was coming, like just sideways,
Yeah.
and that it moves up today. Yeah, it's just it's just market fuckery all over again. It's always the same story. Um, but it's actually quite interesting to see how it reacts at the moment. Like pretty nice surge on Ethereum, of course, towards the upside, and now almost back to where we started. But I got the short in, so
Yeah,
I'm all fine.
we're gonna head into that as well. We've got to speak about Ethereum. We're gonna have a look at the market overview, guys, as well, because the traditional markets are struggling. Also, we're gonna have a look at some of the meme coin madness going on right now, and then also we're gonna talk about how you can trade consistently and how that can be more profitable for you in the long run, guys. So make sure to smash that like and subscribe. If you have any altcoin suggestions, anything you want us to look at while we're on stream today, put them in the comments, please. I'll just go through the comments, Block Pro, and then we'll get straight to it. Let's have a look. We've got here. We've got Sammy T, LFG. Good to see you, friend. We've also got Adapty here, the best live. Thank you very much, sir. Obviously, we've got Gannicus here. He's saying Alpha Time. Hope you guys have enjoyed Paris. He's giving a salute to you there, Block Pro, as well. Aqua Regis here. Good evening, guys. Good to see you. We've got Hugo here, another CSC Plus legend. Good afternoon, guys. Just shorted E at 2848. Oh, that's a nice move. You must have caught that quite recently, so I think you posted that in the Discord as well, Hugo. I saw, so good on you. He's asking where was our entry. We'll get down to ETH very shortly, Hugo. We'll go through ETH with Block Pro there as well. Hugo's also in an Aave short, so perhaps we'll look at some Aave as well. But before we have a look at crypto bubbles and look at the rest of the altcoin market, let's talk about the general market and the traditional market and why you think this is impacting crypto right now, Block Pro.
Mate, like these meme coins. Like I never liked meme coins to start with. But then again, I wish I actually adopted them earlier in my crypto journey, to be honest, because like I think this year pretty much made me realize how important actually the meme coins are to the general ecosystem. Because they often are just a storage for wealth.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like we know with Pump.fun and so many rug pulls in the scene of meme coins, that actually a lot of liquidity gets taken away. We have seen it with the Trump coin, for example, that I believe it was 5 or 6 billion that got taken away. And now all of a sudden we have the Libra coin. I read up on the article. I thought it is absolutely hilarious in the form that, no one is in prison yet. But it shows that, like, I'm not 100% convinced that this is the way where we want to see crypto going, pretty much.
No.
That's my opinion. As a traditional trader, I do understand the gambling scene in when it comes to meme coins, but I do think that this is just theft of investors. Have you looked at it when it launched, or?
This is crazy. Luckily, I didn't see the ticker when it first came out, because this shot up to, I think, around $4 to $5 billion. The president of Argentina, Javier Milei, he put the contract address on his Twitter. It's now removed, obviously.
Yes.
It's to be fair to it. It's people are calling it a rug. It's actually creeping its way back up to $400 million now. But yes, for a president-backed meme coin, this isn't too great. There's a lot of people saying it's part of the same team. I've seen Soul Boogles, which is an NFT community, very exclusive, only 100 members there. I think you have to, I think entry is around $200,000 to be, to have the NFT, to be a part of this community. 3 of their members were linked to this. They've been kicked out. There's a big hoo-ha about that as well. But we can look at, some of the P&Ls through here. There's one with 6.1 million, 5.6 million here, 5.2, 4.7. All in the top 10 have banked over $3 million here. And you can see number 8 and number 9 here. They didn't even buy the token. So that was sent to them, or, perhaps they're behind one of these other wallets as well. If we did some digging, we'd find out. But there's a lot of money that's been made here. Look, I'm still scrolling down. Even all in the top 25 are 1 million plus. A lot of liquidity was taken out of this. And there was a in that article. I'll see if I can pull that up. Actually, the article that I viewed just before we went live as well. There was one wallet. Let me find this part. Here we go. There was one wallet holder reportedly spent 5.6 million acquiring 2.1 million Libra tokens, only to sell them for just $430,000, marking a staggering $5.17 million loss. However, though, in a bizarre twist, blockchain analysts later discovered that the particular trader received 5 million in USDC as compensation, fueling speculation that he was an insider who mistimed the entry.
Yes. But that's just mental. It's actually mental. I just go with the route. I don't think that presidents should endorse meme coins in general, and I also prefer for them to just stay away from crypto in general. Like you can see it now also with like things like Trump coin and stuff like that. It's just people just lose money over it. And I think still like it's fun, but as soon as someone with such a big name goes behind it, a lot of people get the trust and they want to be part of it, and they end up losing, or at least end up on the losing side. And I'm just not a huge fan of it. What I also noticed is that if you look at the Solana ecosystem, and you probably know much more about this, but that we can actually see it reflect in Solana market caps. Or in the market cap from Solana, but like it just sucks liquidity out of the market, in my opinion. Again, if I look at the entire system and we're only talking about 4 or 5 billion, then you go like, it's actually not that much, but the total market cap is already is still recovering from the Trump rug pull on Ethereum. So. Yeah, it's a difficult one. But is this something you would normally burn your hands on, Web3, or?
I've been staying away, and actually I faded Trump at a very, would have been a very good entry. It actually would have been break even if I had held, but I could have sold at, a 20-30x. So my good friend, the Crypto Crush, we've had her on show before. A lot of you will be following her. We were quite fortunate because we were 8 hours ahead of UTC time. We were both in Bali at the time, and he launched it late American time, so I know a lot of Europe was asleep at the time. We actually saw the call pretty much as soon as it came out, and she got an entry at around 1.8 billion, and it was about 2.5 to 3 billion when I was looking at it, and I just went, do you know what? I'm not too sure about this. There was something in the back of my mind going, yeah, Europe's going to wake up very soon and it's going to go crazy. But then I also thought perhaps the North Americans have already kind of spent it. Will the Europeans be that bothered by it? So I tried doing a few transactions, and then each time my slippage was not enough because it was the price was still going crazy. And I thought to myself, when have I ever had a problem buying tokens? With slippage at a $3 billion market cap, I was like, I knew it was a bit crazy. And I think by my third transaction that had failed, even after, upping slippage to 20%, 25%, which is crazy, by the way, guys. Don't up your slippage that much. The transaction still failed. And I thought, okay, maybe this is a sign from God. I didn't go through with the trade then, but actually I made the wrong call, and the Crypto Crush, shout out to her. She actually made 7 figures on that trade. So
nice.
Very good day for her. And we had a good party the next week. That was a crazy one. I've just pulled up the Central African Republic meme is here as well. Went all the way up to 900 million. Now only $16 million. Let me just pull up the top traders here as well. You can see some brilliant P&Ls, guys. 2.7 million, 1.7, 1.7. That's more than that there's actually in liquidity right now.
That's just mental. It's just mental. Like it always starts with one. It starts with one, and then everyone wants to do it. That's
Yeah.
like in the end, I always think like maybe people burn their hands on this once and then go like, oh, you know what? I'm never going to do this again. Then you also have, of course, the people that say like, I'm going to stick with it until I actually make that major winning trade.
Yeah.
Well, I personally think that meme coins are just another beast in itself. Especially like I always see them in a form of like they are just a bit of a wild gamble. And now with countries actually, coming behind it, is that we actually need to think like, why do they not come out with like a serious project or maybe a project to replace a normal fiat system, for example? No, we're going to do it on Solana, make some meme coins.
What I don't understand is that they're not going like an official project route. They could do pre-sale for Argentinian residents with a max allocation and vesting period, and make it legit, and and give it some sustainability. Whereas they're just going, nope, here's the contract address. It's no better than callers in a Telegram group going, oh, here's a gamble. This could 10x, guys. It's literally like the governments and the officials are trading like the insider cowboys are trading, and it's weird to see, and I don't know why they're going that route. It's almost like they don't care from the repercussions, or perhaps they they think that the general audience don't really understand how bad it is and what value they're extracting here as well. I saw. I'll get back to 4.meme shortly as well, but I'll just share this page about Libra as well. So people are saying it's Kelsey Ventures here. I believe Hayden Davis, sorry, who's this guy here in the orange t-shirt. He actually did an interview with CoffeeZilla this morning. So go watch that, guys. I think he posted it around 10 hours ago or so. Not too much information he gave away, really. Basically, one of those, wasn't me. I don't know what happened here. Do I believe him? No.
No, he's probably 80 million richer.
Yeah.
But it's just it remains mental. It's actually mental. Like it's always like the search. Like we also see it now with CZ from Binance, like tweeting about meme coins, and in the end it turned out to be broccoli, I believe. Like the fact is, these guys have so much influence over the exchanges, for example, that a meme coin also can now go to an exchange pretty fast, and then it looks even more legitimate than it actually is in the forms of holding up in price.
And this is what we're seeing, and I think it is, why Solana is down over 5% today at around 180, and BNB is holding up well, and you see Cake also performing really well over the last week, maybe even over the last month or so. CZ is trying to make a stab at the meme coin market. Obviously, they had the market on lock in 2021. If there was a meme coin launch, it was normally on BNB after Ethereum. A lot of people are using 4.meme. You can check it out, guys. It's literally FOUR.meme, and this is the pump fund of the Binance chain. But will the volume remain here for too long? I'm not sure. We saw it with Tron, didn't we? Tron, people were launching on Tron for a few weeks, and then it soon dropped off. But what's your opinion with BNB recently? Do you think the gains that have been made, or have been kind of reached, will sustain?
Well, when it comes to BNB in general, I think it's one of the strongest platforms out there, one of the strongest chains out there. Also, like, don't mess with CZ. Like the guy is absolutely loaded. I think it's funny. Like I have his tweets on notification, and like I think this weekend it was like 40 or 50 tweets from him alone. That you actually go like, yeah, he's trying to hype up the people to figure out what is the right meme coin and what will be the next thing. But yeah. If I look at the chain itself, then I do think, like, especially with BNB, there are also more serious projects on it than what like also on Solana there are some decent serious projects, but I do have the feeling that Solana goes more towards the meme coin part, and with BNB there are still some there's something more than meme coins only. But yeah, it's a funny one, especially if you look at how market caps are holding up. Still, like Solana at the moment at 88.12 billion, BNB still 9,500 is where it is. It's just chilling there.
Yeah.
I do think that with guys like CZ being active in the space and being sending a lot of tweets about it, then of course you will see your bakes and your cakes and your broccolis fly up like crazy, because it's just hyping in the hope that a lot of traders are going to search and just going to say like, well, I'm going to pick this, and this, and hopefully one of those will be the golden meme. I think it's absolutely hilarious to see. But further from like structure wise, it doesn't make sense. Like I remember from last cycle is when the complete bullshit with the NFTs came in, and the meme coins is that showed the end of the cycle. And still, if I look at how it's structured now, we still need to start, and all the bullshit is already here. It's mental to me. Like I still don't burn my hands on sniping bots and stuff like that. It's a completely different ballgame.
Talking about NFTs, I just got back from NFT Paris last weekend. This weekend just gone rather, and I had a mixed bunch of emotions there. I felt like a lot of the projects were perhaps has-beens from 2021, and they were still ticking by. However, there was some new growth, and I think one of the NFT communities that I met up there were Herman's, and they were really putting on and had that community spirit again. But it does seem that meme coins have kind of absorbed a lot of the volume from NFTs.
Yes.
And will NFTs stand out? We don't see too much of the clout, people putting them as their profile pic as we used to. People kind of actually going towards being docs these days. Especially a lot of the larger figures, they will use their face for branding and marketing, and we're not seeing as much NFTs promotion that way. And the community aspect isn't quite there, but it's still clinging on. The event was good. There was a good turnout, but it did make me think, I wonder what this event would have been like 2 years ago in the NFT boom. I bet there was a bit more hype, a bit more energy around the place.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. Like I own some NFTs, by the way, so it's not much. I bought them like a couple of years ago just for shits and giggles. Mm-hmm. The thing that's or the issue that I have with NFTs, and maybe it is that I'm not too much involved in the meme coin scene, for example. Yeah. But I do think that the technology behind it can be very useful. But in the form of just make it as a fancy picture is something that I personally do not see. But in the form of, for example, if you have a football match and you have a ticket system that is based on the NFT, like that is where, in my opinion, will be the future of NFTs. Have you seen something like that at
yes, definitely.
The conference?
What I've seen a lot, and which is gaining traction, is proof of participation. So if you go to the event, you get an NFT sent to your wallet, and then in the future, like a loyalty scheme or reward cards, they can see, okay, he's attended this event, he's attended this event, he went to this one, he can be tier 3, he can have VIP access for this next event. And I think proof of participation is cool as well. You'll see people in 10, 20 years, they go, yeah, I was at that event there. You can see I've got the NFT. And it can be tailored and moved into the modern, Web 2 world as such. I think we'll see more proof of participation NFTs, actual tokens. Even the crypto events, they're not using NFTs for entry yet. They're still using kind of Web 2 apps like Luma, etc. I've seen some where they give the option for an NFT as like a QR code for your entry, but they're still preferring Web 2 options, which isn't going to take off anytime soon. But I think we will see it. And even you could just say it's tokenized. That's all NFTs really are, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an eye opener to go. I'm looking forward to next one. I've got my eye on a few NFTs. I will put them in the Discord. Which ones I'm interested in.
Nice.
I've already mentioned one, which is Herman's. We've got Hugo here as well asking, when will the Netherlands do a meme coin?
Well, let's do it. Let's do it, Hugo. Send me a DM. Let's do it.
we should have a bet on which will be the next nation to launch a coin. I want to say it's going to be somewhere in the South Pacific. I reckon. I think it's going to be a slightly niche country.
Yeah.
The one that I'm waiting for is if Indonesia ever want to do something like that, because they've got huge crypto adoption. I think hundreds of millions of population. I'm not quite sure on the figure there, but that will be an interesting one. But they've got bigger fish to fry.
It's just mental. Like, I think Thailand will be next, probably.
That would be crazy, but Thailand must be earning so well right now. Tourism is
that's true.
Really on the up. Perhaps it will be one of their neighbors like Laos or Cambodia. We've got Gannikus here saying the meme of 2025 will be Haze. And Sammy T is also saying the Chippy Meth event this Friday down in Brighton. I will see you guys there. But let's head over. Let's talk about the rest of the market. Perhaps we can pull up one of your charts if you've got one to show. And also, guys, if you've got any altcoin suggestions that you want us to go through, whack them in the chat, and we will give some analysis there.
I'll put on my screen. I forgot that part.
No worries.
I think it's not this screen. It's this screen. Yes. Boom. Now
Okay.
also.
Oh.
All right. Now, Hugo. Here you go. There's my entry on Ethereum. It was 2,848 and 6 cents. So you front run me again. It's fine. I will come over it. So let me go towards an empty Ethereum chart. Let's get rid of this. So one of the funny things, or at least one of the things that I noticed recently in the market, is every time we get a little bit of a move, then crypto Twitter is just instantly, oh, bull run, and then we come down, and then the bear market is here. Like, it's just schizophrenic. Like, it's borderline scary. Like, it's in the morning we're we have the bear market vibe, and in the afternoon we are all in the bull run again. It doesn't really work like that. It's still, if I would look at how this now is forming, it's just grabbing liquidity from the upside. Like, the New York Stock Exchange is closed today, so that also means there's a little bit more room, a little bit more playing field out there today for the market makers, without trying to beat institutional money. So first of all, still what we see is we cannot shoot up from here in a straight line back to where we were. That's pretty much part number one of what I see in this chart. We need to have some period of consolidation, accumulation, before we actually break towards the ups, towards the 3K again. I do think that when that is going to trigger, it will be happening quite fast, because like the liquidity is just getting taken at the moment. So if I look at this, I still think like it still looks kind of healthy. Even that we see that enormous wick towards the downside that even hit 2100 and 2100, 2100 ish, probably is on different exchanges. I do think that's something that I noticed, especially with this movement, is that I'm still missing a lot of news about it. It was actually something that really it got in a little bit to me, because I've seen this happening live. I was behind my computer, I was in trades, I was shorting it, I was longing it, I was just playing with the entire structure. What amazed me was the amount of capital that got taken out by the market in general. You're talking about absolutely billions. The pullback itself was actually worse than FTX and Luna. In the form of billions getting taken out of the market. And then you have like a couple of days later, you have like 4 bald dudes from the US on the stage going like, yeah, and we want to make a plan to create a market structure to make it all safe again. Well, like 2 days before, you fucking rug pulled everyone here. Like, it didn't make sense to me.
Tweeted about Ethereum being a good buy.
Yeah, it was just like, we're done buying now. You can go ahead. It's terrible. But that's something that I'm missing at the moment, is like some responsibility for what happened in the Ethereum network, but also destroyed most altcoins. I do think it was a good flush for the market. And still, it's every time that I open this Ethereum chart, then what do I see? And that's sadly enough this lowest point right here. So if we would look at the bigger structure for the lower time frames, I will do a live stream in the Crypto Saving Expert Discord for what we can pretty much expect in the upcoming days. Pretty much like we're going to look at some lower time frame stuff. What catches my eye if I actually look at this daily structure is pretty much the start of the impulse. So I think that we actually should revisit that $2,400 level.
Wow.
And it sounds absolutely terrible, but the amount of liquidity built up in here at the moment is just a lot. For that, still, like, of course, I want to see this back towards an all-time high, or at least maybe even break an all-time high. That would be already perfect, but I do think it's still too early for it. Till then, you're pretty much stuck to some lower time frame trades. So still the recovery point to get from here all the way back, still quite a lot of distance. So let's take it from the start of the impulse. Let's take it to the high. Still talk about the 25% move. That is something that Ethereum can do in less than an hour. We have seen this happening before, but it's suppressed. They won't let us. They're not going to send it there. So what's positive right now, in the form of, at least from my view, is that it has created a range. We know that 2,400 is important, and what's important as a level after that, and we're talking, it's a couple miles away still, but then you're back to the 3,500 level where things will get exciting again. The other thing is it actually has now created a pretty much picture perfect range that you can grab as a day trader. Long on the lows, short on the highs, until it breaks out, and then you get stopped out and you're short and you're not in the long. But there's plenty of opportunity here. I do think we probably will go in some same scenarios what we have seen here. So basically, you get that liquidation. We have seen that liquidation in the past. After that, you want to get some sort of a retest of that liquidation. Make everyone feel shit again, that it looks like, oh, we're just going down and lower, and then one day, and it is back towards 3,000. So I think this is an interesting one to trade at the moment. I do have the feeling that it has changed a little bit. How it was in the past, but it is what it is. It's bull run time, so then things always change a little bit. The other one, if we look at Bitcoin, for example, this is just an abrupt hold at the moment. The fact that it, if I go towards the lower time frame, it actually made a decent pullback with nothing to worry about, in my opinion. Well, the thing is, if we want to have altcoins recover again, I think the best thing will be for Bitcoin to just stay right here. Just do nothing. Let the market recover a little bit. It's like when FTX collapsed and like that fucked over the entire market. It took just some time for people to get trust back, to get the investors back into position. And I think we will probably see the same right now, because we are just missing 250 billion out of the market. So I do think that we run into the same scenario. For Bitcoin, it would be the best thing to just stay here. If this comes down towards, let's say, 70K, well, you destroy your entire altcoin industry. And I don't think it wouldn't be logical for that to actually happen. because that's also how a lot of exchanges make their money. And also the founders make their money. So it doesn't really make sense to me to potentially dump that. So I still think that market looks pretty decent, but it has some risky effects to it, mainly because there's just not a lot of liquidity or money going around because of meme coins sucking up the liquidity every fucking day. So something to basically look out for. I think it's an interesting one. Revisiting of 93,000 is likely to happen. After that, we might attack that 110, 112 range. Much higher than that.
Where is the range currently, would you say, between 93 and 98?
Yeah, it actually hasn't changed much over the last few days. So if I would do it on a somewhat bigger scale, let me put it in, then we're going over there. So 93 to 50. And then we need to go, let's go to a daily mixed a little bit easier. So if we do that, then we can take it higher even. So 93, 485. If we would look at a range for the daily high, this is all breakout stuff. So then we're actually, we're just below that 99 or 99.5 is something to look out for. And after that, you actually break that range. And I believe that's 103. That is still an important closure range. Let me double check. Yeah, so then you're back towards that 103. I still think that that 100K is just not that important because in the end, you're just, if you weigh it up against each other, this is where people are looking to long and this is where people are looking to short. Around that 100K area, there is just not a whole lot of action, but it does work in a psychological aspect, is that as soon as we hit that 100K, then everyone starts to rally the troops again, because then we go to 500,000.
You see what you're doing.
Yeah. So I think still, if we can just keep ranging here, I'm perfectly fine with that. Just let altcoins recover again. Make investors, like, the investors also need to win at some point, and they have not been winning.
Not the VC. The VC's about
VC. So I think it's an interesting one. But as soon as a range is formed, what I really loved from last year was the pretty much where we had the breakout around February, March, and all the way till we actually broke again. So that was 250 days of range. Mate, that's just traders heaven. You don't need massive breakouts. You just need up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. That is something that is tradable. Yeah. But
that leads us on to our next topic, actually, which was about consistency.
Yes.
Let's mention, a few parts about staying consistent with your trading, whether that be in risk management or how you're reading the charts as well.
Yeah. It's actually a nice crossover from here. So, for example, what I see a lot of people say is like, "Oh, market is boring today." That's something that I see on the day-to-day basis.
I'm guilty of it sometimes myself.
That often, like, as a trader, I like boring. It's just like, you know where to set your entry, you know where to set your stop loss, you know where to set your TPs, and when you take profit hits, you made some money, great job, now you can short again. I think that a lot of people are, especially new people, are just waiting for something to break out again. I personally, I'm not a breakout trader. I trade personally the back test. I trade based on liquidity. I don't really care if price is at 3 million or at $3, as long as we just keep those consistent ranges. That was also the reason why I absolutely love this range from last year, because a lot of people were a bit upset about it, that it didn't want to break out and looked so close every time. So people are then getting to a point where they start to go in for a heavy long, get liquidated, try again, get liquidated, try again, and then after that you actually will be lucky at some point. But it is not consistent, because you make a large sum of money in 1 day or 2 days or in a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden you get back into a territory where you go like, oh, I'm going to long it. Well, get liquidated again. I'm going to long it, liquidate it again, and then at the end you probably lose your entire portfolio. So what I think it's nice always with the range is that you can just be very safe and steady and wait for an entry. And like I always say, like I work with a specific strategy that always induces like around 3% profit on the trade itself. Sometimes I get up into a runner and then I can make 10, 20, 30%. It just depends on how the market behaves at that moment. But I do think when it comes to making profits, and also for in the crypto space, like if you're an investor, like mate, I if we can do 100x's every day, well, that would be amazing. But again, that's not consistent. It's not that something that we can repeat every day. It's the same with these meme coins. If we can have a Trump coin every day and a Libra coin every day, or a broccoli, mate, you will be filthy rich. It's just not consistent. And that's where it comes down to as a trader is, what do you want to find? You want to, or at least what do you want to have to become profitable? That is a system that works always. So for example, what I can show you, and I did this quite some time ago. This is what we call a trading diary. That's already where consistency might kick in. And let me zoom into it because it is on a wide screen. And basically what I have done is to show my students to actually come up with a system that works always. And you don't need a lot of money for it. So in this case, I said, I'm going to take $10 and I'm going to trade it all the way up to 10K. And you can see here, for example, with a first trade at 23 cents in profit. Well, mate,
Yes.
that's still 23 cents profit. That's a lot on $10.
Exactly. Yeah, you scaled it up to $100,000. That's a nice new Ford Focus.
Yeah, so the thing is, well, you can see it on the risk. Like if you can keep consistency with your risk, like I don't tend to go over 1% risk per position, but that also means that with my strategy, where I actually try to gain that 3%, is that I can get stopped out 2 times in a row. And if my third trade is a winner, I still will make money in the long term. This is something, this requires patience. I have often when people say to me, if I'm doing that and I'm trading with like $30 or with $1,000 and I make $30, doesn't really make sense to me. I need those big wins. But those big wins start with that $10 or that $100 or that $1,000, and they will grow into the 10,000 or the 100,000 or the millions or the 10 millions. So you can actually see here that this was very structured, always calculation of contract size, always, or at least 9 out of 10 times. I think I have a couple of old ones here that are exceeding the 1% risk. But you can see it longs, there are shorts, there are multiple trades a day, waiting for the setup, for the price to actually come towards your setup, not chasing that price. And after 20 trades, I made a $2.86 profit. 80 seconds, like that's where you go like, all right, we're trying to make some pace here. And then again, I didn't care how long this challenge would take. In the end, it went quite fast. But again, if you can do this trading thing with $100, you can also do it with $1,000. But if you cannot do it with $100 or $1,000, you will not succeed with $100,000. You will just blow it up. So we can see here
the yellow trades on the right, their losses.
Yes, they're the stop losses.
The stop loss got hit, yes. And the green ones are the winning trades there.
Yes. Yeah, I also have red trades. That means that I actually fucked something up by exceeding risk, for example. Well, I also know by looking at this, like my win rate is quite high. You can see here, for example, like one red trade. But after 60 trades in total. I was already at $84.45.
Brilliant.
That's like that
An 8X.
consistency then starts to pay off, and you start to compound more and more. And I think that is why it is so important. And also what I bash in the brains of my students is risk management.
Yeah.
Like always that strict risk. Like the gamble is fun, but for the professional traders, it's just not something that we do. But you can see there again, like a couple of close by. There was some regulation stuff. But then again, like trade number 80, we're at $162. That started with $10 still. It's all
Nice.
profit. Pretty much that consistency. It's waiting for the trade, waiting for that setup, for the price to come towards your setup. After a while, it starts to take up speed. So trade number 100, we're already at $403. And this is just still with 1%. 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. Then all of a sudden we go from on trade 120 towards 3,402. After that, I got a little bit bored. I stopped the challenge at trade number 126 with $12,000 and 800 and 13,000, 1,288. That's where I actually stopped the challenge because after that I just withdrawed money. It was like points proven. It's possible. Exactly. You don't need fuck it money to become a profitable trader.
It was those first 50 trades which were, the crucial pivot there, wasn't it?
Yes. I think when I actually got past that $500 mark, it just went pretty fast. So you can see here the 403, and after that I also upped the risk a little bit. Did some trades with Stonksy even, and after that, after 20 trades, series of 20 trades, you're all of a sudden back to $3,400. So stuff like that is where I say like the focus for every trader, for every serious trader, should be based on that consistency. Like I have the rule, if I get stopped out 2 times in a row on one day, I'm done. I'm not even going to look at the screen. But if I lose one and win one, I can do another one.
We'll roll the dice again.
Like that keeps your strategy protected. But I must say it requires like a lot of training and patience and practice to actually get towards that point where you need to say like, well, I had it today, or yesterday, I saw Ethereum coming to the lows. It was close towards my entry. I got stopped out on a trade before. I was like, am I going to take this? And I was like, I'm just going to wait to see how it reacts. But when it goes up and you see a trend starting, then you go like, a lot of people say like, oh, I'm going to long it because the trend is up. Well, you would be wrecked today if you would have done that because you would have got liquidated or stopped out. And that is where you also want to say like, I'm not afraid to short it on a 4 or 5% up day because it's part of the plan. If I got stopped out, this is what it is. I lose one trade, I lose a bit of capital. Tomorrow we'll be making it back. I do think that for beginning traders, this sounds absolutely boring. You want to feel that adrenaline and name it. What I always say, as soon as you cannot sleep about a position, or you're getting nervous, or you feel your heart rate going up, you are doing something wrong. You cannot afford to trade. There is something off that you need to be aware of. But I also know that like some people like to see it as a gamble and go like, oh, $1,000, 100x, let's go long.
Every now and again, a little bit of a spike on the heart rate can be good fun, but that's not the right way to look at it. And if you are looking to, if you're listening in right now and you are looking to make a career out of trading, the best way is to have make sure your risk management is on point. That 1% risk margin is always crucial. And look, if you're wanting to join a community and learn directly from BlockPro, we've even got another AMA with BlockPro live in the Discord now for all members. We're currently going live 4 times a week in the Discord as well. So if you're not a part of the Discord, you are missing out. There's some real good alpha. We also do more trading analysis. Let me just share my screen here as well. I'll show you what's going on in the Discord as well. We've got some XRP analysis here, some AVAX analysis also. And like I say, if we go all the way up here, we can see all the events that are going on here as well. We've got the week start, technical analysis, Bitcoin, ETH, and gold. So not just crypto trading, we are talking about traditional markets also. Tomorrow, we've got the live education session, mastering the markets. And then Wednesday, altcoin AMA. And then Thursday, we have a town hall with myself and Nat Martini, guys. So make sure to join. The code is NY80. You can get in for 80% discount. We will be changing this up and having a little play with the price structure. But if you get that code in now, we will warrant that for lifetime. So make sure to sign in with that NY80, guys. Go join. Let me just show back to Crypto Bubbles here. But yeah, we will see you all in the AMA on Discord. If you're not already joined, make sure to join quickly and you will still catch us with Block Pro. Thank you so much for coming on today. I will look forward to the AMAs, and also next Monday, guys, I will be going live again with Block Pro. This week, Wednesday, I've got a special guest coming up, and then Friday it is the Chippy Cross Meth event live in Brighton. So if you're in the UK, make sure to head down there, guys. But please like and subscribe, and I will see you on Wednesday, guys. Take care.
Sounds good. Have a good one, guys.
Let's go.